Welcome back to the English Daily Podcast. I'm Anna.
And I'm Jake. Today we're going to talk about a peaceful activity with a surprising scientific name, forest bathing. Don't worry, it does not mean taking a bath in a river or wearing a swimsuit among the trees.
Exactly. Forest bathing is the practice of spending calm, attentive time in a forest or another natural place. The Japanese expression is Shinrin-yoku, which means forest bath. The idea is that we can refresh our minds by slowly noticing the sights, sounds, smells, and textures of nature.
That sounds wonderful, especially after a busy week. But Anna, is forest bathing just a relaxing walk, or is there something different about it?
There is a difference. On a normal walk, you may have a destination. You might be hurrying to catch a bus, counting your steps, or listening to a podcast while answering messages. During forest bathing, the destination is less important. You move slowly, pause often, and pay attention to what is happening around you.
So the key word is attention. You are not simply passing through nature. You are giving nature your full attention.
That's right. Let's explain a useful vocabulary word, mindful. Mindful means paying attention to the present moment in a gentle way. If you are mindful while walking, you notice the feeling of your feet touching the ground instead of thinking only about yesterday or tomorrow.
Here is another useful expression, to slow down. It can mean moving more slowly, but it can also mean reducing the speed and pressure of your daily life. For example, you could say, I need to slow down and enjoy my weekend.
And forest bathing may help with that. Researchers have studied how time in nature affects stress, mood, heart rate, and attention. We should be careful with the language here. Nature is not a magic cure for every health problem, and one short walk cannot solve serious stress or illness. However, many studies suggest that natural environments can support relaxation and well-being.
Support well-being is a useful phrase. Well-being means a person's general health and happiness, including both the body and the mind. We often say, regular sleep supports your well-being, or, friendship is important for emotional well-being.
One reason nature may help is that modern life demands constant directed attention. We have to read, choose, remember, calculate, and react all day. Natural scenes may give the brain a softer kind of stimulation. Leaves moving in the wind are interesting, but they do not usually demand an immediate decision.
That is a great point. A notification says, answer me now. A tree does not. Perhaps the brain gets a small break from urgent decisions.
Exactly. In English, we call this a mental break. A mental break is a short period when you stop concentrating on difficult tasks so your mind can recover. Notice the verb recover. It means to return to a healthy or normal condition after effort, stress, or illness.
Let's imagine someone who wants to try forest bathing. What should they do first?
First, choose a safe natural location. It could be a large forest, a quiet park, a botanical garden, or a path beside a lake. You do not need a remote wilderness. A small green space near your home can work. Check the weather, wear comfortable shoes, and tell someone where you are going if you will be alone.
Safety comes before relaxation. What happens after we arrive?
Put your phone on silent, or leave it in your bag for a while. You do not have to throw it away. It can be useful for emergencies, maps, or transportation. The goal is simply to avoid checking it every 2 minutes. Then take a few ordinary breaths and notice your surroundings.
Could you give us a simple exercise?
Of course. Try the 5 senses exercise. Look for 5 things you can see, such as a green leaf, a bird, or sunlight on a path. Then notice 4 things you can feel: the wind on your face, the ground under your shoes, the roughness of tree bark, or the warmth of your hands. Listen for 3 sounds. Smell 2 natural scents. Finally, identify 1 taste, perhaps the fresh taste in your mouth or a sip of water.
That exercise is also useful for English practice. Learners can describe what they notice. For example, I can see a narrow path. The bark feels rough. I hear a bird calling in the distance. These sentences use simple language, but they help you connect words with real experiences.
Absolutely. Let's look at in the distance. This means far away, but still possible to see or hear. You might say, I saw mountains in the distance, or, we could hear music in the distance. Another useful word is texture, which means how a surface feels. A stone may have a smooth texture, while tree bark often has a rough texture.
After the five senses exercise, should people keep walking?
They can, but slowly. A good forest bathing walk may last 20 minutes or several hours. There is no perfect length. Pause to look at a plant. Watch an insect. Sit on a bench. You can also choose a natural object and observe it for 5 minutes. Notice its color, shape, movement, and small details.
That sounds challenging for people who are used to constant entertainment. I might look at a leaf for 30 seconds and then wonder what comes next.
Many people feel that way. The mind likes novelty, or something new and different. The solution is not to force yourself to feel peaceful. Instead, notice your impatience with curiosity. You can say, I'm feeling restless, and that's okay. Restless means unable to relax or stay still. Once you name the feeling, it may become less powerful.
That is a practical tip. Do not turn relaxation into another performance. You do not need to be perfect at being calm.
Exactly. Forest bathing is not a competition, and there is no score. You are not trying to walk the farthest or take the most beautiful photograph. You are practicing presence. Presence means being mentally available in the current moment.
I like that. But what if someone lives in a crowded city with no forest nearby?
They can adapt the practice. Visit a park, sit under a tree, grow herbs on a balcony, or spend 10 minutes looking out of a window at the sky. Even listening to natural sounds can create a small connection with nature. Of course, these activities are not exactly the same as being in a forest, but they may still provide a useful pause.
The word adapt means change something so it works in a new situation. You can adapt a recipe when you do not have every ingredient. In the same way, you can adapt forest bathing to your neighborhood and schedule.
That's a perfect example. Another helpful habit is to create a nature journal. After your walk, write 3 sentences in English. Describe one thing you saw, one thing you heard, and one feeling you had. You could write, I saw a bright yellow flower near the path. I heard water moving over stones. I felt more patient after sitting quietly.
This combines reflection with vocabulary. Reflection means careful thought about an experience. It is different from simply remembering what happened. When you reflect, you ask what you learned and how the experience affected you.
Yes. You can also practice comparative language. Before the walk, you might say, I feel more distracted than usual. After the walk, you can compare, I feel calmer than I did this morning, or, my breathing is slower. These are excellent sentence patterns for intermediate learners.
Let's talk about the science one more time. What might happen inside the body during a calm nature experience?
When people feel less threatened, the body may move away from a strong stress response. Heart rate and muscle tension can decrease, and breathing may become slower. Nature may also improve mood by offering light, movement, and a pleasant environment. But individual experiences are different. Some people love forests, while others feel uncomfortable in unfamiliar outdoor places.
That is important. Individual means related to one person rather than a group. A method that helps one individual may not help everyone. If a forest makes you anxious, choose a familiar park, go with a friend, or speak with a qualified health professional about serious anxiety.
Well said. Forest bathing should add kindness to your life, not pressure. You can begin with a 10-minute visit once a week. During that time, walk slowly, use your senses, and keep your phone away unless you need it. Later, ask yourself 2 questions, what did I notice, and how do I feel now?
And for English learners, add one more question, what new words can I use to describe this place? You might learn words like shaded, meaning protected from direct sunlight, rustling, describing the soft sound of moving leaves, and peaceful, meaning quiet and calm.
You could make a sentence with each word. We rested in a shaded area. I heard rustling in the bushes. The peaceful garden helped me focus. Repeating vocabulary in a real situation makes it easier to remember than studying a list without context.
Before we finish, let's recap. Forest bathing is calm, attentive time in nature. It does not require an actual bath, expensive equipment, or a long trip. You can practice it in a forest, a park, or another safe green space.
The main steps are simple: choose a safe place, slow down, reduce phone distractions, use your five senses, and pause without judging yourself. Nature may support relaxation, mood, attention, and general well-being, although it is not a replacement for professional medical care.
Our vocabulary today included mindful, well-being, mental break, texture, restless, presence, adapt, and reflection. Try using 3 of these words in your own sentences today.
And remember, you can combine nature and English practice. Describe what you see, write a short nature journal, and compare how you feel before and after your walk.
Thanks for spending this peaceful time with us on the English Daily Podcast.
If you enjoyed the episode, please subscribe, share it with another English learner, and leave a review. We'll be back soon with another useful and interesting topic. Until then, take care, slow down when you can, and keep learning English every day.